Chance just to unwind a little bit from the trading day, and I wanted to go through my charts. And I went out to a daily to give some more perspective because I think there's there's been a change in direction here with the market. And I'm going to start from volume highest to lowest. Believe it or not, Chesapeake Energy was the highest of my watch list, higher than all the ETFs, which is just amazing to me. And I think it put it in a big bottom today. We bought it today. I had a buy signal on it, and then it proceeded to drop 50 cents, and and then it came back, and it's a nice little hammer showing it's way out of its bounds. And I think it's anticipating this potential breakout that they're trying to do with oil with the dollar now rolling over. So, I'm looking for this thing to get at least up to the VWAP here at around 680 or higher, and we'll just have to wait and see. But that was a pretty tremendous move, and that was a big rejection of lower prices. So we'll have to see. And then SPY, we have ourselves a hanging man here, and they try to jam it up to the R2, and then the thing opened up there, sold all the way down, and came back up about 80% of the way, and then closed, and basically we closed pretty flat. And this is a second hanging man. They blew this one away, and this is 5% over VWAP, and this is a money flow indicator. Got a first crossover in basically a month, and I'd be shocked if they close this thing over today's price tomorrow. And it's definitely due with everybody else getting bombed today. You would think the SPY would give way, and all its funding sources except for XLG weren't contributing today. So we'll just have to wait and see. That's the top 50 stocks in the country. It's just the games they play to hide the incredible weakness that's in the stock market. VIX is pushed up now. Basically all week, even into a little bit of last week, and today our XIV trade didn't work. We were 7 in a row. Even with some of this rising VIX, we were able to VXX. We were able to make money on XIV day trade, but the rollover right from the open, basically, some of our guys got out at near break even, but I usually hold to the end or until I get stopped out, and then it rolled back down. So it's down a couple of percentage on the trade today, and we'll just see what tomorrow brings. Friday into the close. If XIV's week going into Friday, it's going to be be an interesting weekend. I mean XIV. XLF, here's one of the funding sources for this whole rally, and now that Yellen is not committing to the rate increase, it got a little bit of she got a little bit of dovishness in her, and had a little bit of a hanging man on XLF too. And money flow is already starting to fall away. Tax cuts are going to be delayed. Infrastructure spending is going to be delayed. And so I think the financials are kind of hanging out there on their own. So we'll see if they start giving way here, because their free money may not materialize. Emerging markets had a more of a dark shadow to it, and so we have looks like that might be rolling over too, and which is interesting to me because I was wondering why it just kept going up. I guess it's because they've been shorting their currencies against ours. And if that flips, then emerging markets are in big trouble. GDX, it looks like it's consolidating on high. We got a money flow that's rolling back higher again, and so we'll see. It needs to break out of this recent range here. But if the metals keep doing what they're doing, then I think the miners are going to be just fine. NAK, for those that are trying to rebuild a position from this short sale ambush, um, you had a chance on it today to if you bought yesterday, it was sitting at the S2. You could have closed your extra position on the open, and then I think when the metals and miners really break out, they'll squeeze these shorts out of this stock, and for those people that are in it that didn't make money, then maybe they'll get out of this thing alive. UNG, we're in it. It's bottoming, and looks like it left a little, I guess not an island bottom because I see a wick in there, but I think it put a bottom in. We're going to get really cold weather here in the Midwest starting next week, and I think that'll be enough for the algos to take this thing back up over $7. UVXY, look how far away these things are from their VWAPs, and I know this isn't probably the best example of a trade for VWAP, but I mean just how ridiculous it got. And if VIX really breaks out, UVXY can run up in an absolute hurry. And I'm kind of hoping it does so we can get some good trades on it later this year. So we sold a credit spread on IWM today. Got a change on our trend dots on the 2-hour. And that looks like a pretty nasty candle to me. And I think it has a good risk of going all the way back down into the bottom of its channel there at 134, 135. It's another thing is that we have no growth, and the growth stocks are going to the roof here on some sort of magic dust that Trump has. XLE, if oil breaks out, I can't imagine this not going with it, and so I'm watching to see if it starts to get a bid, but it's been pretty neutral, been just drifting down, and so kind of see if it breaks back up over VWAP, then I think it can get a run on it. XIV, I mean, look at that on the daily. I mean, this thing could fall down into the mid 40s here in no time, and will present a great opportunity, but that'll be a nasty fall. And I suppose some of us will try to catch some of these moves, but if VIX gets over 12 and stays, I'm going to show you the wedge here in a second. Then you're going to see you're going to see XIV here fall pretty quick. Twitter still in the sell right now, even though it's at the bottom of its channel, and so there's no trade there yet. Talked about miners. Southwestern Energy was trying to get a bid, but it just couldn't get out of its way, so there's no trade there. We got stopped out of it a couple days ago. Gold is just jamming, and just keeps going. I guess they're calling the bluff on Yellen, so we'll see where this goes, but this could be a major breakout. And real estate's not believing the Yellen story either. Look at that thing; it's flying. It's getting a little overbought, and it's amazing. This IOIR is kind of a conundrum because it's rising because of lower potential, lower or not rising interest rates. But if we go into recession, then they're going to lose revenue from a leasing standpoint. So I think real estate's going to be tough until we get into a recession, and the interest rate story is no longer playing. Then you're going to see real estate really roll over hard. Dust, I wouldn't be owners of Dust. If metals and miners break out, I've been saying, every time you get this thing, it looks like we got another rollover on the daily here. That is, I think this would be easy money for you to short it. MOS broke out of its little consolidation there, and we got stopped out with that. Now I'm just going to have to wait and see if we get another buy signal here, but it's still moving up higher lows all along here, and I think going into next year, there's going to be a lot of farmland that's going to need a lot of ag chems to help recover the floodwaters, and also the I think late starts that some of these crop areas are going to get. I mean, Argentina's getting crushed with rain, and the obviously California is as well. So, and we're not done yet here. XLK, look at this move. I mean, this is just sick, and so this is one of the things they use to fund the ramp, and got a little hanging man on that one today too. So maybe we exhausted ourselves. We'll see. I mean the money flow index is at 100. I mean that's just simply ridiculous. That means no sellers. And see what happens here in the next couple days. Talked about gold. AG, we got stopped out of yesterday. I jumped right back into it today, and I wonder if it was just on a stop hunt. But if silver goes, AG is going to fly. SLV just grinding away. Look at that thing since the election almost. Well, middle of December, just nonstop. XBI. So I don't like this little hammer here. You know, sometimes these hammers fail when they're like this, but if it moves up at all and we get another sell signal on a 2 hour, then I'm going to enter BIS. SLW is still consolidating. I'm going to wait probably to re-enter it next week. Just don't know, why it's not reacting well to the silver prices, but it's struggling a bit, and I'm just going to wait and see if it consolidates down at that VWAP, and then take another shot long. XLY, I've been wondering why discretionary's income is up when there's no discretionary income, and finally gave way today. It's another one of the things they've been just pumping, and maybe this is because now finally Facebook and Amazon and some of those big Momos are now starting to get exhausted. I mean, literally. I mean, the economy's not growing. People are broke. We're at peak debt, and I just can't see this thing. This thing could literally fall, 5 points here. So keep an eye on it. That would really put a hurt locker on the indexes. Oil, just amazing. It's just so jumpy. Look at this. Down, up, down, up. I mean, everything's gappy. Gap, gap, gap. And so I just stayed away. I'm hearing now they were ready for a breakout. If they break it out because the dollar gets weaker. But that's not what's been happening. It's been going up with the dollar. So we'll see. I just don't trust it. It's just, this is manipulation on steroids. SH hit a S2 today. Like I said, I think this is all it's going to be. I think it's going to be real. So you need to protect yourself. SH, TLT, SLV, and just pull some chips off the table. I mean, we've took this thing to the wall over 9 years. ERX, we talked about those. The dollar, waiting to see if it rolls down below VWAP. Money flow is already coming out of it. TWM, and this is the one I would like to buy. I just didn't want to buy today. I just didn't trust the market with SPY flying back higher. And I'm just going to wait and see. Maybe this is something I get into tomorrow or on Monday. Drip had a great move. And like I said, I want to see what oil does first before offering any suggestions here long. CRK, I think it's unwound that move that was inexplicable. I guess it went up because it could. And now it's back to VWAP, and we'll see if it moves with natural gas. Corn's falling. Probably it'll be a buy at the VWAP area there, and my trend dots. So we'll see. DBA is on a sell right now too. Sugar took a big hit today. I think that's what's causing that to come down. ICI, This is another ag chem company. He's getting hit too, and I think there's a lot of Momos must have been in these names because they're all getting hit. And JJG, I think it'll come down to 29 area and be ready to buy again. It's starting to move now, I guess, if you want to be a good trader with it. Coffee, we took our profit on coffee. Looks like it's going to roll down now, and we'll just have to wait and see for another buy. So here's one of the funding sources, the yen. And I'm going to look real quick here on my other computer to see if they're trying to jam it up here tonight to keep the dream alive with SPY. And yeah, that's up a little bit, so it could be a that means FXY should be down tomorrow. So we'll see how that ends up in the evening, but they usually do that to provide fuel for the markets, especially at the open. So we'll just have to keep an eye out to see if they try to pop the open again tomorrow, or like around 6 in the morning. The ignitions have been at my time Pacific 11, 3, 6 in the open. So we'll see which ones they are. I'm usually up at 3 for that trade, and so I'll get up and watch that one again. 1 second, sorry about that. SILJ, we own it. I have high hopes for it. We talked about that. Now, wheat's holding up pretty well, but it looks like a little bit of a potential bear flag here, so we'll just have to wait and see. Sugar got whacked here. I know I boldly said the other day, if it got down to 44 again, I'll buy it, but with the way the market is right now, I think I'm just going to kind of keep an eye on it here for a day or two. XLG, here's the main culprit of the lift in the indexes, is the top 50 ETFs, top 50 stocks in the country, and this is what they use to buy to lift the indexes while everything else is crumbling underneath it. VVIX, this is like the volatility of volatility. They tried to jam it here again today using selling the VIX, but VIX held. And this is what I want to show you. See if you look here, is it came up to here and sold back down, and then today it did it again. It came up to here and sold back down, and this wedge is getting tighter and tighter. And when this wedge breaks, here's the measured move, is 20, and that would just be devastating for the market. So especially with it being so incredibly overbought with such little breadth to it. So, and it's all the big names and liquid names that they'll bail out of fast, and that's why they're in them too. They're getting out of everything illiquid, and they piled in everything liquid. But that alone will make it illiquid when everybody wants to get out. And back to CHK. So anyway, here's my round the horn, and we'll have to see what tomorrow brings. And if the market does what you think it should do, we should get some weakness here in the market. But if they push it up again, then there's definitely some unseen forces here that are bound and determined to take it to a number, and that number is 241 for the year pivot, R1. And so I would just be absolutely stunned if they did it without any kind of pullback. Anyway, Bob from Trade Genius. You guys have a good night, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Thanks. Bye.